Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the bwashley, and today we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 4, Episode 6, and I have quite a few thoughts regarding what went down. Miss Gertie and this whole wedding venue debacle, a mess, and Dr. Nicole, while she has been a bit of a snooze these past episodes, I will say that her storyline regarding her father did heat up just a little bit. But let me not jump ahead. Let's get right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare. We start the episode off with a very fabulous intro, I must say. We see Julia, her wife Martina, Anthony, and Dr. Nicole on a private jet, and we find out that Anthony is also a pilot. So because they both love food so much and he knows how to fly a plane, they'll just randomly go to New Orleans or wherever and have some lunch. I said, I know that's right. And it seems like Anthony can do anything. He's a pilot, a lawyer. He's also into big investments. He's a big car collection. Anything that has to do with spending lots of money, he seems to be in it. And that's what I like. And I saw that congratulations are in order because People magazine announced that Dr. Nicole and Anthony are engaged. I said, Dr. Nicole did all of this talk about, I don't know if I want to be married. I'm cool with us just being boyfriend and girlfriend and being partners. I said, girl, I knew she was full of it. And she also secured her season 5 storyline because next season is all going to be about planning the wedding and her nervousness about becoming a wife. And then we know that we're going to get a wedding. So, well played. We see them touch down in Key West, and we find out that Dr. Nicole and Anthony have a friend who has a fabulous restaurant out in Key West, and they closed down the restaurant just for the 4 of them. I thought that was really awesome. The food looked absolutely delicious. You already know that my mouth was watering. I just want to know, how much money does Anthony have? Because he seems to be like real coined up. And I was trying to Google his net worth and I couldn't really find a whole lot. I keep seeing varying answers. So if you know, let me know in the comments. But I digress. Now we jump over to a really short scene with Lisa and her kids. They are at the sugar factory having a cute little mommy and me day. And Lisa is tired. She says that her nanny has quit on her and it's just her and the kids. And she's like, I love my babies, but motherhood is not all that it's cracked up to be sometimes. And I'm tired and I need a nap. Then she goes on to say how Lenny is always working 24/7 and he doesn't seem to respect or acknowledge all the hard work that she does trying to manage their children. I just feel like Lisa has been a snooze this entire season. I'm bored with the troubles about her and Lenny and the emotional affair, and now she's complaining about motherhood and how tired she is 24/7. It's like, girl, can we get something else, please? But I will say that Lisa and Lenny have some adorable kids, and it was so cute because her kids were just running all over the place. I mean, all that sugar, all that candy, and I know their energy levels were spiked. It is so funny how things change. I remember like in 2014, 2015, when Sugar Factory was everything, and now it's a place for kids and teenagers, and you wouldn't be caught dead there. It's just so funny how things change. And I remember going to the Sugar Factory in Miami and the one in Vegas, and I used to always go to the one where I lived, right in New York in the Meatpacking District, and I thought that I was just the hottest thing there. But yeah, it's just so funny now how it's a kid and teen place, and I wouldn't ever consider going there. Now we move on to the next scene with Marisol. She's at home and Alexia comes over. They're having some mimosas and they start talking. Marisol wants to know what happened between Peter and Todd. So Alexia says, girl, it was so much drama. It was such a heated and uncomfortable conversation. Like they were both yelling at each other, both going at it. I'm sitting there crying. Then she says that it's just really tough because she's in the middle of two men that she loves, her son and her fiance, who she wants to spend the rest of her life with. So now Alexia says, I feel like I'm always dealing with something, with Peter and Todd, and then Frankie and his injury, and then on top of that, my mother being sick. It's like, it's just always something. So now Alexia starts crying, and she says that Peter is a good kid, and how her message to Todd was, don't be so hard on him. I said, Alexia, let me just stop you right now, because here's what we're not going to do. I understand that you love your son. I understand that you want to see him through these rose-colored glasses, but what you won't do is be in denial and tell a straight-up lie. He's had a run-in with the law multiple times. He does not want to work. He does not want to be productive. He has a very entitled mindset. He acts like a spoiled brat at his big age. He is 30 years old, and you're sitting here coddling him. That's why he's in the mess that he's in today, because you keep making excuses for him. On what planet is he a good kid and Todd needs to take it easy on him? Absolutely not. Todd did the right thing, in my opinion. I didn't see anything wrong. He told Peter the truth. He said verbatim that you're going to end up in jail and be a loser. I don't understand why Alexia feels like her son is exempt from hearing any sort of criticism. He's not going to die if somebody tells him, get your act together. So Alexia continues by saying that Peter still suffers from Frankie's accident and how that still haunts him and he's still really traumatized by that. And again, I'm not negating that. I understand, because anybody would be traumatized and upset and still carrying a lot of sadness if their sibling got into a horrific accident. But what I am saying is that Peter does need to get some help. And he does need to own up and take accountability. He can't keep using that he's traumatized as an excuse to have all these run-ins with the law. Then Alexia says that she hopes that they can move on as a family, and Marisol says that she definitely believes that they will. Now we jump over to the next scene with Gertie, and she is with a group of people discussing how she wants to have a charity event in honor of her brother. Now we remember in last week's episode, we found out that one of her oldest brothers was killed along with his two daughters in the Haiti earthquake in 2010. So Gertie says that she wants to get donations for her brother's widow's charity because that will help the kids in Haiti continue with their education and move further along in life. Gertie says that this charity is near and dear to her heart and how she's paying it forward in honor of her brother. You can tell that Gertie and her brother were super close, and I do think that it's really awesome that she wants to do a charity event in honor of her brother. And I really do hope that her charity event brings in a lot of donations. So while she's discussing the plans for the charity event, she gets a call from Alexia. So she excuses herself and she's taking the call, and Alexia is telling her that she just booked a wedding venue. So Gertie's like, thank you, Jesus, like, hallelujah, like, won't he do it? Because this has been super stressful.
Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
But I said, as we see later on in this episode, don't rejoice too much now, girl, because it seems like everything falls apart. Now we move on to the next scene with Larsa. She's at home and she's getting all glammed up for her photo shoot for her jewelry line. We find out that Larsa has had a jewelry collection for quite a few years, and it's called Larsa Marie. She says that she loves it and how she wants to show her kids that she's a boss and she can do anything. Then she goes on to say how the jewelry industry is a tough business and she really needs to be on her A game. I'm like, girl, I could have told you that. And now it all makes sense as to why she was so eager to come back on the Miami reboot, because she's trying to get some free press for her jewelry line. But I said, okay, girl. We see Miss Kiki arrive, and she's going to be one of the models in the photo shoot. She's super excited, and she's thanking Larsa for even thinking of her. Larsa says, girl, I had to have you in the photo shoot. Like, you look amazing. You're the perfect person to model my jewelry. Again, I need Kiki to be a full-time cast member. Please have her replace Gertie or Dr. Nicole for season 5. Kiki, I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I want to know more about her. She looks great, and we love all of that melanin, okay? We find out that Larsa is also gearing up for a photo shoot in Harper's Bazaar, and I said, now that's a huge deal. Harper's Bazaar is that girl. So, I mean, kudos to Larsa for getting a spot in there. That is some fabulous promotion. It doesn't get much bigger than Harper's, other than Vogue, you know. I mean, that's a big accomplishment. Then Larsa says that she's going to be going to the Hamptons real soon for her jewelry launch. Then she adds that the Hamptons are where all the social media influencers go. And I'm surprised I didn't bump into you this past summer. Baby, me and the Hamptons are like this, okay? Southampton, East Hampton, Sag Harbor, Sagaponack, Watermill, Montauk, what? Stop playing with me. Honey, those are my stomping grounds in the summertime. But more on that in another video. So now we move on to a short scene with Lisa and Dr. Nicole. They are becoming fast friends. And when I tell you my mouth was watering during this scene, they were at one of my favorite restaurants in Miami. Baby, they were at Le Chic in Wynwood. Stop playing. That fried chicken is some of the best fried chicken that I have ever had. That food, like, my mouth is watering as we speak. That is such a fun and sexy restaurant. And I also love how they have a lounge/club attached to the restaurant. Just amazing. So Dr. Nicole and Lisa are talking about their kids, and Dr. Nicole says, our little boy is starting school soon. How did you feel when your kid started school? And Lisa says, you know, it was tears of happiness and tears of sadness, but at the same time, Mama needed a break. So now they start laughing, and then Lisa says, look, it's important to have that me time. It's important to have that adult time and just have a good time, okay? And then she lets Dr. Nicole know that she has booked a fabulous penthouse suite at the Faena Hotel. She wants all the ladies to join her. She wants to have a cute, fun pajama party, girls' night out. And Dr. Nicole says, sounds good, you know, I'm there. So now Dr. Nicole switches the topic, and she brings up how she's dealing with her mom wanting her to spend time with her father. So now Lisa's like, girl, make up with your father because you only have one dad and one mom. Now, while that's true, I do feel like Dr. Nicole is justified in feeling the way she feels towards her father. Her father turned everybody's lives upside down with his actions. And it also shouldn't be up to the child to reach out to the parent who abandoned them. The parent needs to be reaching out to the child, in my personal opinion. Now we move on to the big day. It is Lisa at the Faena Hotel, and she arrives to the penthouse suite. We find out that this penthouse is the country's largest penthouse, and it goes for $50,000 a night. Not $50,000 a week, not $50,000 a month, not $50,000 a year, 50,000 American dollars a night. I said, this is what I want to see. Everything. And Lord willing, I'm going to stay at that same penthouse too. It was 3 levels, 5 or 6 bedrooms. The butler service was just too fab. The champagne, fully stocked bar with the bartender. What? Everything.
I love it. I love it.
Lisa goes on to say that Lenny has no idea how much she's spending for this sleepover, but he will see it when that American Express statement comes in the next month. And we all know how Amex does. You have to pay your statement in full every single month. So if you spend $50,000, you are paying that $50,000 in 30 days. And American Express will really have you out here just swiping that card. Ask me how I know.
Bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad.
While Lisa might be a bit of a snooze this season with her non-existent storyline, I will say that she is a fabulous hostess, and I really love that extra touch of her buying all the women these really pretty pajama sets. So all the ladies arrive except for Larsa. Everybody is super excited, super blown away by the penthouse. And then we see that Lisa put Adriana and Julia together in a room since they have a very special friendship. Gertie and Adriana ignore each other. Adriana says that she's not engaging, and then Gertie says that she's just over it and she will not be talking to Adriana. I'm like, I mean, well, that's good. You know, just ignore each other and just keep it cute, keep it pushing. Like, nobody needs all this drama, especially when I'm spending $50,000 a night for y'all to be here. So everybody needs to be on their best behavior. Shout out to one of my subscribers who hit the nail on the head about who Gertie looks like. She looks just like Amina from Love and Hip Hop New York. Remember Amina and that whole crazy love triangle with her, Peter Guns, and Tara? That was a hot raggedy mess, but that is exactly who Gertie looks like. Thank you for saying that, because I said, oh my gosh, I can't unsee it now. So while everybody's doing their own thing, we see Gertie and Dr. Nicole on the balcony. And can we talk about how fabulous that view was? I was like, again, I'm going to stay in that penthouse one of these days, I promise you. And when I do, I will definitely be doing a vlog of that, and that's going to be a good 30-minute vlog, all right? So Dr. Nicole is asking Gertie about the wedding planning, how it's going. Gertie's like, child, it was going good until 2 days ago. Would you believe that the wedding venue called me and they backed out at the last minute? So Dr. Nicole is like, what? Have you told Alexia? And Gertie's like, no, not yet. Then Gertie adds that she's going to tell Alexia tonight. So Dr. Nicole is like, are you serious? Like, you can't tell her tonight. And I was like, Gertie, are you dumb? Why would you mess up Alexia's night like this? You should have told her this before this girl's night. So Gertie says that she's going to come up with a backup plan and how it's not her fault. I just feel like people need to really be careful when they come on these shows, because situations like these could hurt their brand and hurt their business. I wonder if Gertie's event planning business is going to take a nosedive because of this incident with the wedding venue backing out. Because honestly, Gertie's being painted out to look like she can't do her job. So while Gertie and Nicole are talking outside, we see Marisol and Alexia talking, and they're talking about the wedding. Alexia says that she's stressed out and how she has a few doubts regarding Gertie and some of these plans. She's like, they're going to have 4 open bars at their wedding, and how Gertie was saying that only 4 bartenders were going to be working each bar. So she and Todd were like, only 4 bartenders? Like, that doesn't make any sense, especially since we're having a large wedding. I think she said over 150 people. So you can tell that Alexia doesn't think that Gertie's doing the best job. So now we flip back to Gertie and Nicole outside talking, and then Alexia comes out, and Gertie's super nervous because she thinks that Alexia's going to walk towards them and talk. So now we see the rest of the women go outside on the balcony, and Gertie says that she's just so relieved because she wasn't ready to have that conversation with Alexia. Then we see Larsa FaceTime Lisa, and she's like, girls, I'm just so upset that I can't be there. Like, I have some serious FOMO right now, but I do want to invite you guys to the Hamptons with me next week because I have my jewelry launch, and I would love for you guys to join me. So now they're all like, sure, you know, sounds great. Then Marisol asks what part of the Hamptons, and Larsa says Montauk. So they're like, okay, cool. And then Marisol starts joking around like, Are you going to bring the jet out for us? And Larsa says that she's working on it. I said, baby, if you don't get on a good old Delta flight and call it a day, then I know something. I said, what you need to be worried about is that long drive when you touch down in New York and you have to be on the Long Island Expressway for a good 2.5 hours. And God forbid you're going to the Hamptons on a Thursday or Friday. That is a drive. But anyhow, they finished their FaceTime with Larsa, and now they all head out to the Cabaret Show. So everybody's having a great time at the Cabaret Show. It's a super sexy, super sensual show. And then the MC picks Lisa to get on stage. So now the MC starts asking Lisa, what's her definition of fetish? So Lisa says, my definition of fetish are all those ladies sitting right there, especially Julia. Then she says that Julia is making her turn the other way. I said, since when are you into Julia, sis? Child. Production must have put the fear of God in you that you don't have a storyline. So now you're coming up with this. So Adriana says, really? Does Lisa know what fetish means? Like, a fetish is like you like feet or something, or big penises. It's not liking a person. Like, she sounds stupid. Then she says, and why does your fetish have to be Julia? Like, Julia is my person, not yours. The Cabaret Show's over. All the ladies go back up to the penthouse. And I loved how they had the dessert waiting for them when they got there. Just another fabulous touch. But again, it should be fabulous like that because you're spending a salary on one night. So everything should be top of the line. So now everybody changes into their pajamas and we see Gertie, Marisol, and Alexia in one of the living rooms, and they're having a conversation about the wedding plans. So Marisol sort of chastises Gertie and she says, girl, you need to be on your A game because my friend is calling me up stressed out late at night about the wedding details, and I really need you to do your job. So Gertie takes offense to what Marisol's saying, and she's like, those who can't do criticize, Marisol needs to back up. But Gertie, if Alexia is having complaints and she is paying you top dollar to execute her wedding, then you need to be on your A game. Period, point blank. So Gertie says, well, speaking of the wedding venue emailed me and they said that they cannot accommodate your wedding. So Alexia is like, are you effing kidding me right now? And she breaks down and starts sobbing. Marisol is hugging Alexia. Alexia is just over it. She's like, I don't understand why all this stuff is happening to me. What is the universe trying to tell me? Should I not be getting married? Like, I'm just not understanding. It's been one thing after another. So now Gertie tries to comfort Alexia and she's like, don't worry, Alexia. It's all going to work out. We are going to find a venue. You can tell that Alexia is just, she's just so angry. She can't even speak because she was just crying for the longest time. And I would have been sobbing too because Alexia really has been going through it these past few months. And I know that hearing this was the tip of the iceberg. Like, you know what? I'm just over it. I can't anymore. Somebody stick a fork in me. I'm done. Like, I've just been knocked out. So while Alexia is sobbing, Lisa and the rest of the women are watching this go down by the bar. So now Lisa's like, I know what's going to cheer everybody up. Ladies, let's gather around and let's just have a good time. She has a tray filled with bananas and whipped cream and condoms. And she's like, we're going to throw Alexia an impromptu bachelorette party. So they start playing this sexy truth or dare. And Julia chooses a dare. So the card reads that she has to feed somebody almonds using her mouth only. So now Adriana says, Julia, you better choose the right person. Like, don't sit up here and play around. So Julia picks Lisa. So they're kind of like fake making out, and Adriana is pissed. Lisa says in her confessional that she doesn't understand why Adriana is acting like her and Julia are actually dating. And I don't know why Adriana is acting like they're dating either, because Adriana has a boyfriend and Julia is married. So this little flirtation that they have going on is just very silly in my opinion. Side note, did y'all notice Kiki's facial expressions when Julia and Lisa were getting the almonds out of each other's mouths? She was looking like, what? She was just so taken aback by everything. It was too funny. So now Julia goes over to console Adriana because Adriana is fake mad because she feels like Lisa and Julia were kissing each other. So then one of the ladies picks truth. I think it's either Lisa or Marisol, but the question is, out of this group, who would you have an affair with? And then I think somebody says Julia. So then all the ladies ask Julia if she would ever think about having an affair. So Julia says, absolutely not, no way. I love Martina. That's my soulmate. Like, I'll look, but I would never touch. And I said, I know that's right. I really do feel that Julia and Martina really love each other, and I don't see them hurting each other like that. I think that they would just break up and divorce if it ever came to that. But I will say, Julia, I really do need you to respect your marriage more and to stop with all these silly flirtations with Adriana and Lisa and whoever else. It's okay to flirt. You're married, you're not dead. But when you're, fake tonguing people down and giving people foot massages, it gets to be a bit much. So now their bachelorette game time is over and everybody is getting ready for bed. I was just like, well, that was a very lame girls' night. It seemed like the night ended kind of early. And spending all that money, honey, I will be up till 6 a.m. There would be no sleeping. Now we get to the last scene of the episode, and it is Dr. Nicole meeting up with her father. And you can tell that she's anxious, she's nervous, they don't have the best relationship, she still has a lot of resentment, and she's not really looking forward to this meetup. Side note, I love that Rolls-Royce truck that she has. I love how a lot of them have Rolls-Royce trucks on this franchise. I think Adriana has one too. Yeah, I want one. Sign me up. I want everything, child. You hear me? I want the moon, the stars. I want it all. And there is no shame in my game, okay? So anyhow, her father shows up. He had this pinstripe blazer on, some jeans, and these sunglasses. I was like, he really is trying his best to look young. So he comes bearing gifts with some flowers, and he's like, hey, babe, haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? And Nicole is already annoyed. She's like, Dad, take these sunglasses off, please. I know the young girls like them, but not me. Take them off. So he's like, well, damn, is this how we're going to start off our lunch? So Nicole says, hey, Dad, how are you doing? He says that he's fantastic. And then she brings up how her dad saw Grayson, her and Anthony's 2-year-old son, the other day when she was out of town. So he says, yeah, I did. It was fantastic. You guys have a fantastic son. Then he says, unfortunately for you, you only have one child, while I have quite a few. So Nicole is kind of taken aback by him saying that. And she says, yeah, you have 4 kids. Her father says, well, 4 that you know of. So Nicole says, excuse me, Dad, are you saying that you have more kids besides us? And he's trying to play coy. And then he adds that he plans on having even more kids at his big age. Nicole is so pissed. She says, are you kidding me right now? Like, am I being punked right now? Is this a joke? Tell me this is a joke. She says, do not have any more kids. You do not need to be procreating. Like, that's enough. Child, the scene ends with a to be continued flash on the screen. And I'm like, damn, Nicole was livid. You can tell that her father is a piece of work. He definitely doesn't seem the type to be apologetic and want to make up for the wrongs that he did to his family. He seems to have this attitude, well, I'm back now. This is who I am. Take me or leave me. Don't really care. He's trying to chase after his youth. and that's about it. And if Nicole can't get with it, then he's like, okay, you know, it is what it is. I don't think that her father is a mature person. He just seems to be living in the moment, and he doesn't care who he hurts. A mess. But Dr. Nicole, you really did step it up with your storyline just a bit. I definitely am looking forward to this conversation in next week's episode, because I already know that you're about to go off. But y'all, that was the episode. I hope you all enjoyed my recap. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.